Hello, everybody. It's August the 25th, and it's in the morning here in the tiny house. I have been in the tiny house now for almost a month, or just about a month exactly. And it has gotten into a rhythm of living just like any other place that you move into. It's a little different at first, but everything is working well. I think on one of the last ones I did, the AC versus DC, alternating current versus direct current. No need for direct current. The systems that I have can run off of the inverter on AC now with eight 100-watt solar panels. That's 800 watts, almost a kilowatt, zero point 0.8 kilowatts. It will efficiently run the refrigerator 24 hours a day. It gives me enough for a 40-watt light bulb during the night. Even the 700-watt microwave that picked up 50 bucks, brand new. I can't believe it. A microwave for 50 bucks. They sell them here in Athens for the students. It's not a big one and it's not a powerful one, but for my purposes, it's perfect and cheap. If I unplug everything else, I can run it for a couple of minutes, without too much of a battery drain, and it will heat a plate of food. If that's the way I want to heat it, I can also use my propane burner, one burner propane, which I use to heat water in the morning for coffee and that kind of thing. So the living is within bounds of what you would have in any other house. Now, understand, I am talking about guy living. And of course, guy living is different than girl living or gal living and family living. Guys can live pretty much, two sticks and a tarp. So I can't really extrapolate on that. But for me, it is a very easy uh, life. And what you would think would be confining is not. So I have everything stowed and put away, and so it has become a routine at this point. To the point that it's time to start doing some other things on the road to nowhere. The crops are in as far as the garden is concerned. It's been cut and will be plowed as soon. We've been having some good rain, so can't really get in there to plow it until it dries out a little bit. But then there will be a small garden of fall and winter crops. Some turnip greens and some collards and cabbage and that type of thing, just to grow those, but not a whole lot. And a little bit of that goes a long way. And then next year, I hope to have raised beds. I want to do the raised bed gardening rather than the traditional gardening I've been doing. And it'll be a much reduced footprint. The sorghum crop is still progressing. More heads are coming out, and I'm having to cut them in the dough as I did in the last one. And that will come in about October, last of September, 1st of October, maybe even to the middle of October, before frost. I have to get it before first frost. And then that will be a very interesting process of cutting and squeezing the juice out of that. So I'm looking forward to that. But it has settled into the tiny, to an existence in the tiny house. There's still some little trim things that need to be done and that type of thing. Finishing the project, getting the punch list done, is it's easy to say, well, you get used to it, and all of a sudden that's the way it is, and all of a sudden you realize, well, I didn't put this piece of trim up or that piece of trim up, and best to do it while you have it available and it's there and it's sitting there and you have the tools there and all that kind of thing. And say, well, I'll get that later, and then later turns into the tools are put up and put away, and now I can't find the piece of trim and that type of thing. So finish the drill. Um, that's about it. Not a whole lot. I've decided that just looking at this now, I look a little disheveled. Didn't comb my hair this morning, so but I'm not going crazy. I'm having a good time here in the little house. Just for those who think I've lost my mind, I'll give you that little snippet of crazy corral. And now you have to ask yourself, is it real or is it Memorex? Is this guy really just a nut, or is he a pretty good actor at times? I'm a pretty good actor at times. I don't think I'm nuts. But I guess people who are nuts really do they? But anyway, I'm having a really good time here at the road to nowhere. I know it. This is a pilot program of seeing what happens, and I know that within a year or so, there'll be the real world to go back to. And I would like to think that we could get back to a simpler existence where it's more sustainable and you think about things in a way that you only take what you need and not what you want or what somebody has, somebody, that big somebody, that conspiracy somebody out there has decided that we want or decided for us what we want and then done everything they can to sell it to us. But that's a whole nother story. And we won't go into that today. That would be another blog, not the road to nowhere. The road to nowhere is about being peaceful and kind and comfortable in your own skin and in touch with yourself and with nature and with what you really want and really need and being right sized in your mind and in your body. That's what this is really about. And I'm getting there. I am getting there. And there is nothing better than that type of thing. I'll tell you a little story. There was a flock of Canadian geese that came by. They could have been no more than 30 feet off the ground. I'm sitting on the front porch at 7:30 in the morning, drinking coffee, watching nature pass before me here at the road to nowhere. And here come these Canadian geese. And they, like I say, they were flying very low, maybe 30 feet off the ground, and a large formation. And these are large birds. And their wings were beating in unison as they came by. And I could hear the rush of the wind under their wings, the rush of the air as their wings beat in unison. And it sounded almost like a helicopter rotor in full lift as it chops the air as they came by. And then they did a slow ascent and a right-hand turn and heading south. And it was just an amazing sight, an amazing sight. And I would never have seen that before. And the dove coming in the morning and the evening and eating, on the brown, I grew the brown top millet and the other birds and how they interact with each other as they feed together, and some of the tactics that they use to clear the ground for from each other for each other, that type of thing. It's just hawks flying and the smaller birds just pestering them as they're in flight. It's those types of things that really make it. And then the stars at night, the moon, the clouds drifting by, the formations of the weather, the thunderstorms that come up, and you can see them so far away, and how they develop, and then the way the rain comes. It really is just looking and seeing and being and knowing that there's more than the television. There's more than the movie house. There's a whole world of nature out here that is going unnoticed and so disregarded because it's being supplanted by things that are manufactured and man-made. And I really, really think that it doesn't have to be this for everybody, but everybody would benefit by having a little bit of this. And maybe you're getting it, and I just don't realize that. I hope so, because I'm getting a lot of it, and it is very, very good. So I hope you have a wonderful day. That's just the way it is here on the road to nowhere. It's not this morning about the systems and all that. It's about the being and the feeling that it makes, and it is making that happen. So have a great day. We'll talk to you later from the road to nowhere.